So like, can you introduce yourself to Korean people or whoever watching this video?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Idhenga. I'm here from London VC Network and NTN Holdings. London VC Network connects the London ecosystem, so founders, operators, LPs, and more. We do events, publications, and VC education. So we're really leaving a big impact on the European tech community. And we have about 24 VC partner firms representing $6 billion of assets under management. So we've grown a lot in the past year and a half. It's been a really great experience to work with supportive VCs to make VC accessible. Yeah, and then the other company I work with is NTN Holdings. It's a small family office focused on resilience-themed opportunities. So we invest into funds and direct investments into startups.
Okay, cool. So you're connecting investors and startups. You said small family office, but still you do investment as well. So since you studied in America, right? And earlier when we meet in London, you said, I know that no one in the UK and London, so I think it would be the same story for Korean founders or even Korean investors when it comes to they go to like kind of other countries. So how you break into the UK and London?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, just to give extra context, studied in the States and then eventually moved to London to do my master's degree at King's College London, and I met some fantastic people there. But actually, I didn't know a single person when I arrived in London. So because of that, I just knew I wanted to work in venture capital really badly, started going to all sorts of events. And yeah, basically by going to events, I was able to meet the right people I needed to know, learn the things I needed to know to work in venture capital. And then from there, I was able to work in a fintech VC fund called 1818. So yeah, but basically, I think you're right that a Korean founder going to anywhere, whether it's London, Singapore, or another country, another city, is going to benefit from building their networks and working really hard on developing those relationships over time. And sometimes it's the relationships you make today that will pay off in like 2-3 years. Not that you should think of relationships in that way. It should be more of a doing things to help others. And I think good things come to those who do good to others. So that's just kind of how I approach I help people connect. I help help people in various things. So.
And you mentioned like going to all sort of events. Even I find myself when I go to events, like actually it's really hard to talk first and approach people, starting conversation. It's hard for me as well.
Yeah.
So how you solve the problem?
Okay, so I think speaking to people became easier when I worked in sales. So many years ago, like 2017, I worked in sales, and I basically had to sell to anyone and everyone. And I was selling phone, cable, internet packages for people's houses.
Phone, cable, and internet.
Yes.
Okay.
And by doing that and consistently getting rejected, I kind of got used to speaking to random people. I mean, I would say that today it's still possible to feel nervous or whatever.
Right.
But most other people are also feeling nervous. And I will say that the cultural aspect does make it challenging sometimes. But you just need to put yourself out there and not care about the consequences of being seen by others. Like sometimes you feel self-conscious. What is this person going to think about me? Right. I don't want to interrupt their conversation. But I always tell people, no, just go for it. Interrupt the conversation.
Right.
Say, hey, sorry to interrupt, my name is. And would love to learn more about what you're doing. So
you're like your tip is like just interact with people during the conversation.
I mean, my tip is just go for it, be open-minded, and go in with like a learning mindset and learn from other people. If you can help them as well, that's also a good thing to do. But I mean, British people are also a little bit reserved. Maybe in Korea people are a little bit reserved, I'm not sure. But you just have to sort of train yourself by going to more events. You get used to speaking to people. And by doing that, you just become, it becomes easier and easier over time.
Right. And the last time when we meet in London, you recommend a book called The Culture Map from The Culture Map. I read that book and it says, yeah, for sure there is a culture difference in terms of business. So, and this is your first time in Korea as well. So, have you seen any culture difference in terms of business or even like a person to person?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love studying culture. I've lived in 10 countries, 5 African countries, and that book, The Culture Map, highly recommend. It's probably one of the most important books to read in this industrialized, globalized world. So I do know a lot of Korean people, a lot of Asian people. I think by coming to Korea, I've been able to see, why people in New York or in London eat in groups, for example. That's something I've noticed. Like,
right.
I always used to wonder why do a lot of the Korean people I know like to eat in groups. But when I came to Korea, I saw like, okay, yeah, like everybody.
Yeah, 3 or
just does
4.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think getting more exposure is always beneficial, and there's always something to learn every day. So yeah, I would highly recommend for people to come out to Korea and potentially other countries to just put your boots on the ground and see what the situation is really like. Another area that people overlook a lot is Africa. So I was just explaining to people that when I moved to London, I was shocked at how underrated Africa is among investors when it comes to private equity specifically, but also other verticals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, then let's move on to like question about Fosterbridge.
Yeah,
and
sure.
First thing first, what do you expect from Fosterbridge?
Yeah, so by coming to Fosterbridge, I sort of expected to have, I like to call it the cultural exchange,
Right.
Where I can come and understand the ecosystem in Korea and potentially take away golden nuggets of information that can be used back in London. Furthermore, I think it's a great way to make partnerships happen. So for example, I've potentially already made 1 or 2 venture capital partner firms.
Wow.
That I've met 2 of them that might want to join London Venture Capital Network. And that's really exciting to me because, the more we grow, the more impact we have and the more we help people. So I expect to continue having those kind of conversations and potentially building those kind of partnerships that could lead to us coming back to Korea in the future.
Right.
Helping more Korean founders potentially get exposure to investors based in London and vice versa. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, and for Koreans, since when I was kid, like London and the UK is like kind of entrance to Europe in terms of market, business or whatever their like a personal life. I'm going to the UK for my business, or I'm going to the UK for my master's or bachelor or sometimes PhD. So like Korean people, when Korean people think about Europe, they just remind the UK first, and UK will be the last as well. So what do you say to Korean people who want to do something in the UK, like either a business or either like studying or just moving to there?
Yeah, so Europe is an interesting ecosystem for founders specifically. So I'm just going to take it from a founder perspective. But if you look at Europe, you compare France, Germany, Italy, or other countries, the UK tech scene is, I would say, it's ahead, right? There's no doubt about it when it comes to funding or opportunities. The systems are there, the people are there, incredible founders, the smartest on earth. I mean, obviously, you have like smart founders everywhere.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really an incredible ecosystem to be a founder. And if you're interested in learning about, the UK's ecosystem, I think just come for a visit. Come for a visit, plan a trip where you come to a lot of events and meet the right people and see if that's a good fit for you. If it's not for you, maybe there's another market that works.
Okay, then I have 2 more questions. The first one is, it's our first day in the Fosterbridge. What score can you give 1 to 10?
First day at Fosterbridge, I would give it an 8.5.
8.5. Well, okay.
Definitely. So, and the reason for that is, I think there's really a great mix of people here. A lot of fantastic founders, investors. Really cool to see people from different countries. I met people from Singapore, United States, even Middle East region.
Right.
So it's really good to make those kind of international connections, especially considering, this year we did a trip to Saudi.
Right.
Next year we'll probably do another Middle East tour. We go to Dubai and other places. So I've met a lot of great international investors, but also some locals. So learning a little bit about how Korean startups work, and yeah, I'd love to continue learning more. So how can it be improved? I think we just have to keep doing it over and over again until everyone comes to Fosterbridge.
Okay, then any messages or any last comment for your colleagues or even for your family?
Yeah, I mean, I wish you guys were all here with me. Maybe next year. Who knows? I came to Korea with an open mind. I didn't know what to expect, and I've left. I'm going to be leaving very pleasantly, very impressed, and looking forward to coming back.
Yeah, I hope to see you again in 25 and 26 in Fosterbridge. Thanks for your time today, Dan.
Thank you. Cheers.